So inevitably, people are going to ask me, where in the hell do you get this stuff? I mean, you're trying to build a sci-fi set. I mean, look at you're showing me this huge circuit board. Where am I going to get this stuff? Okay, like I said, sooner or later somebody's going to ask me the question. Look at this huge circuit board you're putting up here. You're building a sci-fi set. That's really nice, but you didn't tell us where you got it. Duh. So I'm going to show you in this video. You're going to have to scrap things. You're going to have to get smart. If you want to find big, beautiful, expensive circuit board like this for your sci-fi set, well, I'm going to show you how to do that. The following 15 minutes I'm going to show you how the things I scrap, or I'm scrapping a big screen TV, and I actually got this big circuit breaker out of a big screen TV, and that's not all I scrap. I scrap anything. I'll scrap washing machines, ovens, I'll scrap printers, and by scrapping these things that nobody else wants, remember, you take what nobody else wants and you grab all the beautiful, nice stuff out of it, and that's how you do it if you want to build a sci-fi set cheap. I'll show you a picture of the front of it. It's a huge Mitsubishi. So we have to hammer out the side. So you can take a hammer and we're going to pry this apart. Go all the way down. All the way down there, we're just going to pry it out. Of course, safety is a #1 issue. Before you tear into these electronics, you make sure you drain the capacitors. The capacitors and the tubes carry a lot of voltage, and you make sure you drain them and check them with your meters before you rub your skin across them, because you could get shocked and die. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for the circuit boards. You got heat sinks, but be careful not to touch any of the capacitors or tubes. We're going to be getting into those tubes later. So let's go ahead and pry the sides off. We're going to go all the way up here, all the way to the top with a hammer and pry these sides off. Actually, it's pretty simple. As you can see, there's staples in here. The only thing holding this on here is staples. And we'll just get a hammer and continue to pound this out there. It's about ready to drop. At any moment it's ready to drop. Pretty simple. What we're looking for is those, we're going to salvage those lenses and the mirror. So there it is. It's not a whole lot to it. This piece here just pulls out. Now, some people find it easier just to use a little sledgehammer and just break everything. But it sort of does make a mess. There are some people who might be able to use these little pieces of wood, all these planks of particle board. Somebody might have a use for those. So it's up to you. Use the sledgehammer or do it the sophisticated way. This is what we're going for. This is all the stuff we're going for here. What's it say? Fuse replacement. Make sure the voltage, use a high voltage meter connected from on the tube. You're going to make sure you don't get shocked and knocked against the wall by these tubes here. Look, and then it says X-ray precaution. This product includes critical electrical parts which are essential for X radiation safety. That's normally when it's plugged in. So the main thing we have to be careful for is just the voltage. We have to look for capacitors and these tubes right here. Make sure to drain the voltage off of those, or better yet, don't really touch them. Try not to touch. So the heaviest part is the back and the mirror part. So what I did was I basically pried off one side first, right along here. I pried this side off first, as you can see here, just pried it off. And the back is still hanging on there. And then I go along here with a screwdriver and this is like glued on. I don't know if it was glued on there or what. But actually it's stapled. I got stapled on. So once you unhinge it here from the staples along here, this is the last piece, this is the last side it's holding on to. So as you're prying this with a screwdriver, you keep your hand on the bottom of this unit here. Keep your hand on the bottom here so it doesn't fall. So all you do with your left hand, grab down here, and your right hand prying here, you just pull it out and unhinge it from there. It's pretty simple, but it's kind of heavy. So if you're one person, make sure you got a good grip on here, because this whole back piece with the wood and the mirror, that's the heaviest part there. Once you get that off, then you just lay it down. And then once we lay it flat, it'll be easier to take the mirror off when it's laying flat. All we have to do is take these screws off. The mirror will come out very simple. Now next thing we do is just take the front off. Take the front and then salvage those parts. If you're tearing one of these down by yourself, it can get a little awkward. Get yourself in positions where, if you just take it slow, things will bend, and then all you have to do is slowly grab your front and pull it off. It's ready to pull. It's ready to pull apart, but the main thing is you just take it slow. Take everything slow. Once you've got the back down, the back part down, like I said before, you just take out all these little screws. Take the mirror out. Apple, who's got an Apple iPad? So now all we got to do is pry that apart, pry the front apart. Well, we're almost done. We got the mirror out. Put the mirror in a safe spot. We're heading for the good stuff next. The back is just some particle board and some piece of plastic. A couple braces on there. Not much to the back. Before servicing, make sure you do the discharge, voltage discharge. Let me show you how easy these are to come out. These are cool. They just screw right out. White, green. These are just clear lenses, I guess. Clear lenses. There might be quite a few lenses inside of this here. Sometimes you have four or five lenses in there. We just have to unclip these here. Once we unclip these, there's probably more than 3 lenses in here. And there's your color. White, green, and red. We'll take these off. Getting there. Halfway through the job, nothing wrong with having a spicy sardine pizza. You ever heard of that? Sardine pizza? Got some capers and blueberries on there. Yummy. Okay, so these things only have 4 screws. You loosen up the screws. These come right off. All 4 screws. Ooh, that sucker's sun's on it. Now, if you look here, you can see where this bubble here, some sort of glass, has some damage there. Now, I've seen where other people have taken these off and there's liquid in there. I'm not sure what kind of liquid it is, but you don't want to get that liquid on your hands. So if you're going to take this off, make sure you kind of tilt this thing back where it's flatter. See, right now it's not flat. It's at an angle. And you take this off, underneath there could be some fluid. I'm not really sure what kind of fluid it is. Next, you take out screw here, screw here, screw here, screw here, Phillips head. And then this whole thing's going to come out. Once you've taken out a couple of screws here, it's like only like 1, 2, 3 screws. This thing slides right out. Let me use my right arm. Let's try it again. This thing slides right out. All you have to do is cut a few wires back here. Snip. 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 Do a few more snipping and this thing comes right out. Well, that's it. That's what we came for. That's what we got. These like 3 little TV sets. Three little TV sets that send an image into a mirror and then through that lens. All we have to do now is take the aluminum heat sink off of there, take that circuit board off, and pretty much the cabinet gets thrown away. I don't recommend you giving these to the man right now. The man's not paying you what you deserve. So I'm a little different scrapper. I say scrap it, keep it, but don't give it to the man yet, because the man's not paying you what he owes you. The man is manipulating the gold and silver prices, and because the man is, why don't we just call them who they are, the 666 gang, the banksters, they're cheating people. Don't give them your precious metals, your wires. Don't give them all this stuff now until they raise the price. We just had a Rona collapse, and we're experiencing the reset. It won't be long before the prices of this stuff go skyrocketing. So if you can, keep it till the 666 gang decides to give us more money for it. Okay, I know I rambled on about hoarding the metal, but there's some people who are not in a position to hoard right now. They need $5, they need $6 to buy a Big Mac right now because their stimulus check hasn't come. So I'm not going to tear these apart personally because I have another use for them. But you see that copper there? That's a yoke, and that yoke sits down over the tube. And so once you take this, you can take this stuff apart relatively easy, and then you can twist those copper yokes off of there, and that's where most of copper is in one of these units. So you just take the circuit board off, a couple screws, and then the other stuff starts to screw off. It's not that difficult to get those copper yokes off there, and there's a bunch of circuit boards you can scrap out for chump change.